Hey, buddy.
What's going on, buddy?
So, the big news of the day for the Vancouver Canucks, Willander has signed his entry-level deal with the Vancouver Canucks. I know that's the first thing you want to talk about.
For sure. Yeah, no, the drama is finally over. We can rest at ease and just be ready for next season with our new offense and our new offensive structure and, a great new power play will probably come out of, signing a right-handed defenseman that's probably never going to play for us because the signing was likely to appease him by telling him we're going to trade you with our first-round pick to bolster our top six. Just absolutely thrilled with how the day has gone. Not a distraction at all from the absolute shit show of the other news.
Well, let's talk about what you actually want to talk about. So I'm calling this one foot in the door.
Oh, I'm saying this organization can't help but shoot themselves in the foot. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, that's probably a better one. Foot and mouth disease.
Oh man, this is a Band-Aid hiring, which Rutherford has done before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. This has happened in the past. A la Mike Johnston in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Was coaching the Portland Winterhawks, then obviously was suspended by basically paying and bribing players to come play for Portland in the WHL, which is a big no-no. Not bribing, just paying them and paying for their families to come stay and stuff, which you're not allowed to give any reciprocal funds or anything to the players. So he was suspended from that. After his suspension was lifted, he was hired by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Had a great first season. They had a great start. Were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, I believe, in his first year. And then in the second season was fired in December. Had an extremely short leash, and the reins were handed over to Mike Sullivan. So, given that history lesson for our Canucks fans, Foote is a safe choice in the sense that this management could be a little bit in hot water right now, given the way things have gone, with Tocchet kind of walking away, which as soon as the Flyers job became available, everyone pretty much felt that was happening. I don't know how there isn't going to be any tampering with that. Tocchet did interviews with other teams, but when you hear the way he talked about today, saying his heart's always been with the Flyers, and you knew that's where he was going. But with Foote, Hughes has sung his praises and said he's his favorite coach, and that's great. It's a great defensive coach. No one has denied that. But can he coach some offense into this team? Can he work with the top six to actually build some structure so that they're getting shots on net? One of the big knocks of not hiring Manny was that he's not experienced as a head coach in the NHL.
Right.
He has more experience at the professional level as a coach than Adam Foote does.
Yeah.
Adam Foote was a development coach for the Colorado Avalanche before he got promoted to an assistant coach. Mm-hmm. They never made the playoffs we discussed this, right?
They made the playoffs.
Did they make the playoff once?
Yeah, once. And they got swept in the
eliminated.
First round. Or no, they lost in 7 in the first round.
Yeah, so he has limited experience as an assistant coach. And then went to the WHL, had awful time in the WHL, roster aside. He didn't have the greatest roster, but it wasn't like he lost the whole team from the year before that scored 250 goals. And then he comes in and they're only able to muster 189 that season. And then the following season was more of the same. Just no offensive structure and no ability to get the puck to the net. They were the 7th place team in shots for and 3rd in the league for goals for. And, fired 14 games before the Memorial Cup is supposed to be hosted by your team. Like, what WHL team does that? One that's afraid you're going to get embarrassed in the playoffs because you have no ability to score any goals against actual top-level teams.
And I think I've asked you this one
worried.
before, Dustin. When you were playing growing up, did you ever play for a team where the coach was the father of one of the kids on the team?
Ugh. All the friggin' time.
Because when Adam Foote was the coach of the Kelowna Rockets, he had both of his sons, Nolan and Cal, and he made Nolan the captain of the team at 16.
Yeah. So, I mean, questions like that, it's like, okay, you see Alvin's comments about his integrity and the way he's, going to build the right way and teach the right culture. Well, nepotism is never the right culture, for one. We know what's happening on the other side of the country in the Supreme Courts of Canada with arguably the biggest scandal in Hockey Canada history. Now, there has been testimony given today by Steenbergen that is pretty damning of the EM and her conduct in the whole situation. Drinking aside, you still have to carry yourself in such a way that you're not willing to be doing something, and it made her seem pretty much like the ringleader of it all. And so I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's just something that you don't want to welcome into your front office. Like, yeah, it was okay, not okay to brush it aside, but he doesn't face the media as an assistant coach every day. As a head coach, until this is gone, he's going to have to answer questions about this every time he goes in front of the media. Like, it's not like they're just going to be like, no, you can't ask about this. They have the right to ask about it. It's something that's present news. It's happening now. If that's the role model you set for your son, we've heard what his son did, right? Like, peer pressure is one thing and that, but you learn your values and your morals from your parents, and they teach you what's right and what's wrong. And he clearly didn't learn what was right and what's wrong when you're around a female or around your friends when they're not carrying themselves the right way. Like, there is a way to be a respectful human being. Whether you are drinking or under the influence of drugs or whatever, right? Like, whatever the situation is, there's always a way, there's always an off switch, and there's always a line, and you just don't cross it. And so just all of that just makes me uncomfortable with Foote being promoted to the head coach. I hope it doesn't upset Manny Malholtra so much that he just says, screw this organization and goes elsewhere and gets a head coaching job. And that this is just kind of a Band-Aid thing for, okay, Foote has a real short leash. If he can't provide an offensive touch next year, then Manny's ready to step in. They'll fire Foote and just go with Manny. The danger with going straight to Manny is then you have no security blanket. If they had hired Manny right now, Foote likely goes and is an assistant coach for Talkett in Philadelphia. Right. Like, that's pretty much what would happen.
Knee-jerk reaction.
That's why it feels like it was a knee-jerk signing this morning. The second Talkett was officially announced, all of a sudden the Canucks are like, boom, Adam Foote's our head coach. So it feels reactionary. It feels like they've catered to a single person on the team, which is unfortunate because there's 22 other guys on the roster that need to be coached. Players can say they have a favorite coach, but they need to learn to love other coaches. They also need to understand that it's for the entire team. Like, Sidney Crosby has publicly said he will have no input on the Penguins' next head coach. It's not up to him to say. That's leadership. That's maturity. That's what I need out of Quinn Hughes. You can say that it's your best coach, but right now, your next head coach might be your best coach. And to sit there and think that Adam Foote is going to bring the offensive structure that this team needs is a bit close-minded by someone whose main job is being the best defenseman on the team. And Foote was a stay-at-home defenseman. Like, he's never played an offensive game. So I just don't see how that's going to work out for him unless there's some really heavily insulated assistant coaches hired. And then it's like, okay, so Jay Woodcroft is going to be your assistant coach, who you'll probably have to pay more than your head coach to be an assistant coach. Like, what are we doing here as an organization? They had the opportunity to start fresh and start a new culture. Unfortunate timing that I think the plan was for Tocchet to do that last year, and then they would move on to Manny. So I think this is just a stopgap, and it appeases Hughes in the meantime. It'll show Hughes probably this season. Like, this season is gonna probably be painful. I'm sorry, Canucks fans, but it's probably not gonna be fun hockey to watch. And that's just what we're gonna get, more of the same. Unless we get we gotta wait until the assistants are announced. But if it's pretty much the same bench out there, I mean, you saw what we got this year. Don't expect much different next year.
Swerve and Irvin just donated $6.99. Having Foote, having played with Forsberg, what do you think Foote thinks of EP40?
That's a tough one. Right, it's really hard to determine what anyone thinks of any other player. We've heard what Hughes has said about EP40 and the dedication that he has to winning, and that he does, like, every player's different. They all have their different ways of preparing. I just really think that I don't know. I can't put myself there. I hope that he's willing to just work with Petey and get Petey back to where he was. That's why I was so excited about Malholtra. There was a clip put out yesterday where Malholtra was helping with the Canucks rookie camp when Pettersson was a rookie. And there was just an interaction between the two of them on the bench that was just so fresh and relaxed and fun. And he was like, "Oh, is that your sick move?" And he's like, no, my sick move is this. And Malholtra just laughs and is like, "Well, go do it." Like,
yeah.
That's just, I feel like, what the Canucks need right now. And I just hope that, I hope we don't lose him to another organization, because that would be very sad.
All right. So we got about 5 minutes before the next period gets started. I know we did want to talk a little bit about the Eagles. The Colorado Eagles will be starting a game against the Abbotsford Canucks on Friday, May the 16th. Game 1 happens in the best of 5 series. We wanted to chat about how the Eagles have been playing so far in the playoffs, because according to you, it hasn't been looking so hot for the Eagles so far in the playoffs.
Not great. And part of it, like, I'm wondering, the curse of the bye. They had the extra couple weeks off while the first round was played through.
Yeah.
Game 1, they looked great. They handled the Barracuda no problem, 6-3. They pretty much dominated on the power play. They were 2 for 3 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. But then game 2, they they lost 2-1 in overtime. The Barracuda just clamped down defensively and got some good goaltending. And then in game 3, that one also went to overtime, but Colorado was able to win 3-2. But another really close, tight game. You had and then to win the series, there was no scoring in that game until like 12 minutes left in the game. The Barracuda actually got the first goal and were up 1-0 in that game. But the Eagles got 2 goals late and then added an empty netter. So they really only won that clinching game 2-1. And the Barracuda actually almost pushed them to a fifth and final deciding game. So, and that was, if you look at the standings, the Barracuda finished with 81 points on the season, and the Colorado Eagles finished with 94. So the Eagles struggled to generate offense against the Barracuda, and so that tells you a lot about why the Abbey Canucks matched up so well against them in the regular season. Just a mismatch of a team that has to win games, 1-0, 2-1, or against teams that are tougher. Colorado really capitalized on some of the lower placed teams. When you get like 2 games against them, they would go in and win those 2 games. And then against the tougher opponents, they'd probably split the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you get to the playoffs where it's actually all the best teams are left. And I have a lot of confidence in these Abbey Canucks in pulling off this upset, supposedly. I mean, it's 2 points separated these teams in the regular season, 94 points, 92 points. So it's the 2 best teams playing in the Pacific Division final. It's the exact final you want to see, but I actually really think the advantage goes to the Abbotsford Canucks in this one. Just given the way the regular season went, given that there's been a week off for a lot of the banged up guys to get healthier. And so Abbey should be able to ice their strongest lineup. And if they can take both games in Abbotsford, Colorado will be really on their heels to win 3 in a row at home.
Yeah, and we saw last time we chatted on Monday about how well Abbotsford did play against Colorado in the regular season, winning 4 of 6 games, and 2 of those being in Colorado. So there are no strangers to winning on the road in the Mile High City.
Absolutely, yep.
How awkward will it be when Manny Malholtra takes the Abbotsford Canucks all the way and wins the Calder Cup at the Canucks family barbecue in the summertime when Foote is like, I got the job.
Oh, yeah. Development camp is going to be interesting next season. But you know what? Manny Malholtra is the exact type of person that can take this in stride. I have heard from a source that he was really hoping for the job, so I'm sure there will be a bit of disappointment there, but I think he can handle it and just continue to be a professional and continue to develop these young kids the best we can hope for. I mean, seeing what they've done in just one season, I can't wait for next year. I really want to see what he can do again with a second season as a coach and continuing to develop the structure that he's building.
Yeah, should be interesting to see what else happens to this Canucks team. It just seems like every day they love to just throw some more chaos at us.
Oh yes, never fails.
Awesome, Dustin. Thank you so much for joining us today to chat about the hiring and the upcoming Abbotsford Canucks series against the Colorado Eagles. Enjoy this third period. Hopefully we can see a goal. We might see a 0-0 in overtime coming up here pretty quick.
Oh yeah, this just feels like one of those games that's going to be a marathon, like 5th OT 0-0,
Yeah.
and it's going to be some garbage like off a skate goal.
Yeah, Keith Primo comes out of the rafters and scores in the 5th overtime.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember watching that game on my little like 12-inch CRT TV on CBC in my bedroom.
Oh yeah,
just laying there in bed, like trying to keep my eyes open. Like, man, is this game ever gonna end? Primo, bar down, out of nowhere.
Hilarious. Awesome, Dustin. And enjoy the rest of the game, and we'll talk again soon, brother.
Sounds good. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, chat.
Nothing is perfect.